Hello, this is Sarah Meehan from Concentrus bringing you a short and sweet tip regarding expense report policies. So this is a new feature in 2020.2, which is why I'm demoing it in the release preview environment. So as it stands now, if you enter an expense report, the only real option for controlling what an employee is able to enter is during the approval process. So that's the native way of reviewing and enforcing policies for what an employee can enter. But as of 2020.2, there is this new functionality for expense report policies. So if I come to Setup, Accounting, Expense Report Policies, I'm going to go ahead and create a new one. So a common scenario here is you have a $50 daily cap on meals for traveling employees, and you want to enforce that so that they can't enter something over $50. Additionally, you can use this functionality to limit project expenses. So for employees that are entering expenses against particular projects or for particular customers, you can enter caps based on what you've negotiated as part of that project. So let's call this my $50 meal cap. Okay, I'm going to leave this open-ended, so I'm not going to put an end date, and I'm going to associate it with 2 subsidiaries in this environment. I can limit this to a particular department, location, or customer, as I mentioned, but for this scenario, I'm just going to do it globally, so anyone who's entering expenses against the meals and entertainment expense category. I can set up the limit so that it's looking at per individual expense report or per day. So I'm going to go ahead and do per day in this case. My maximum amount is 50. And you have options for allowing outside of limit, but with a warning, or what I'm going to do is not allow it at all. If you do opt to allow with a warning, you can enforce a requirement for a memo or a receipt as part of that allowance. And you can trigger notifications if you're allowing outside of limit entry to particular employees so that they're aware. I'm going to go ahead and save this. And then once this loads, I'm going to enter an expense report. Okay, so you can see here as I go to enter an expense report, I now have a new button that displays as part of the new release to show policies. And I'll show you how that plays out when I actually exceed the cap. Okay, so I'm going to select myself, going to select our meals and entertainment category. This is a US dollar invoice. And I'm going to start at $100, see what happens. Okay, I'm going to hit save. So I get a warning here saying it's in violation of my expense report policy. And it now turns red. And if I click show policies, I can see specific information about the policy that is causing this error. I can see here $50 per day meals and entertainment. But if I break this up, and let's say I do already done some testing, so I'm going to push it out a little bit. I'm going to do $50 here. Remove this line. And I'm going to do $50 on the 17th. So even though it exceeds $100 or the $50 cap in total, it's looking per day. So if I hit save, I should now be able to push this through for approval. So there you go. Hopefully you found this helpful. I think it's a great new feature, and I think those who use expense reports will see a lot of benefit. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.